Número 3. El recolector de basuras.
All right, let's skip over the pleasantries and get right into it. So, for today, I'll be reviewing my clean down Linux bash script that I've been working on, and it is fully finished, fully functional. This solves the problem of you having too many directories that you might want to clear out, especially something like a downloads folder, which is exactly the example that I'm using in this script. So, say you have some sort of, again, some sort of directory location that you are want to constantly clear out of junk, like a trash or a downloads directory. This is pretty much specifically a script for getting rid of things from your downloads and put them into temporarily putting all the files into a trash directory, sort of as a buffer before you actually go ahead and permanently delete all your files that are automatically downloaded to the downloads folder. But of course, it also has a function of being able to clear out your trash bin itself. So like I said, if you're somebody who hoards a lot or just downloads a lot of files of the internet frequently, and specifically for those who just download and they leave the default option of usually browsers just downloading straight into the downloads folder, you could have it configured otherwise, but uh, for the most cases, people usually just they leave their browser downloads to go directly into the downloads folder. Go figure. So this program is perfect for those people. Again, it facilitates immensely being able to clear out old junk files that you don't need anymore, especially things like executables. Could also be documents that you may not need. You may not just need to see the contents of a file and then you're done with it. But specifically executables, installables, jars, things like that. So yeah, let's get right into it. I already have another tab open right here on the side, and I'm already in my downloads folder in this one. Um, and again, it doesn't really matter where I execute it from because based on the code right here that you can see, it's using the predetermined locations that I have set it with. It's using a target folder for that would be my actual downloads folder, just home/downloads, and then the trash, which is like I said, the buffer between anything that goes into downloads and permanently deleted. That would just be and again, it's in my $ home/trash directory. So before I actually go ahead and do this, I'm gonna go ahead and alt tab really quickly into my tuner, which is basically just a file manager for Linux that I use. And this is what my homes looks like. My downloads folder, I'm already inside of it. It's if you go up a level, then you have your other folders, but and this would be the trash one, relevant trash, because there's also a Linux provided trash right here, but I made my own trash just for simplicity's sake, or to have more control over it basically. So if I go into the downloads itself, here you can see that I pretty much organized my downloads into different directories based on the type of files that I'll be downloading into them. So you have audio files, and again, in terms of the extensions, it doesn't matter as long as it is an audio file, documents, executables, images, etc. There are some temp folders and whatnot. um, but the way that this program actually works, the script, is that it doesn't go deep enough into directories. It only gets rid of files that are directly inside of the downloads directory. So in the case that I execute this script, it's only going to get rid of all of these files right here, which I've already verified they're pretty much useless. And some of them I even just created empty files just for testing purposes right now. So when I execute it, every single one of these files should be gone except the directories. And fingers crossed, hopefully, I checked my code correctly and nothing ends up breaking. I don't end up losing everything in the other folders. So, but it's not too bad if it does because this is just a temporary place anyways. So the way this works is as usual. Just type in the name of it first. Again, every single time for my program starts the same way, so I'm just gonna use the help option to see how to actually use it, to remind myself and to show you guys. So the way that it works is always first positional argument. This time, if you feed it a t, if you give it a t for the first positional argument, it's going to move all the files from X directory to Y. And again, you could make your directory file paths be anything you want, literally anything. But I made mine specifically between the downloads and the trash folders that I made. Well, not downloads folder because I just comes with Linux, but you get the point. And if you feed it a D, which I don't know why it's has a massive tabbing space in there, but you know, it is what it is, whatever. It's just for information anyway. So that's gonna delete all the files from X directory, and X directory being in this case a trash directory. So one of them moves them, clean down T moves everything into the trash, and then clean down D for delete. You know, that's gonna get rid permanently get rid of everything from the trash. So I'm gonna actually showcase using it. So if I alt tab into my Thuner file manager again, I see have about 6 files. Yeah, there's a total of 6 files here that would need to be moved. So I'm gonna do clean down, and I'm gonna give it the T option because I want to move everything into the trash. And there it is, successfully moved all files. That's it. And now if I alt tab again, bam, everything's gone. But of course, nothing was deleted because I'm gonna go up a level into my home. I'm gonna go into trash, and then everything moved here. That's literally all it is. It's perfect. And you're gonna notice that there's already some dev files here. Those were already here from the beginning. I just manually placed those there because I don't need them. And apparently I installed MySQL. I don't even remember doing that. It was so long ago. But getting back to the downloads folder, actually in this case I would just remain in the trash because I'm going to be demoing exactly you know, it getting rid of everything from this trash directory. So it's literally just the exact same thing cleaned down, but in this time you give it a D, and again, fingers crossed it's not going to delete my entire OS or anything. Bam, successfully deleted all files. And now again, alt tab. Oh, hold on, that's not right. Okay, technical difficulties. See, yeah, that's not right. Something went awfully wrong. I'll be right back. All right, everyone, I'm back. I had a little technical glitch in there, so I went back into the script really quickly and I fixed the line that I'm pretty sure is what was giving me the error. I put in the wrong directory. Instead of being the trash, it was set to the download, so it was basically deleting all the files from the downloads, which there wasn't any by that point. So if I try running it again, all the files should be gone. Let's see. There it is. It's everything's gone. Like literally permanently gone. I cannot get it back. So like I said, I'm gonna go straight into the code right now because this is also a very straightforward program. So this is literally all it is. You barely can't even scroll it again. So I'm gonna go through it methodically really quickly. So it's bin/bash. You got the same exact source with the same error codes that I could eventually show, but I'm not gonna do that right now. There's a target folder, meaning in my downloads folder, trash would be the trash folder directory, and then your options is if your first positional argument is equal to the T, then you're going to do all of this. I had some lines here that are commented out. Ignore those for now; they're not important. It was just for debugging purposes, pretty much. I even put it doesn't work, but it's fine. What the main crux of the code, the main code itself, is literally just a single line right here. It's doing everything starting with the find. So the way that this Linux command works, essentially, the way that I understood it is, again, find, what it's doing is it's finding all of a certain file type inside of a directory, and then it allows you to execute some sort of other subsequent command on all of those file types. So in this case, I said find, and here in the quotes, you have the target folder. So it's going to look within this target folder, which is the downloads folder. And then with the max depth option, that basically allows you to specify how deep within directories inside of that directory itself you want to go. So for me, I only said max depth of 1 because I want to just get rid of the files immediately inside of the downloads, and I don't actually want to get rid of any directories and any of their contents recursively or anything. I just want to get rid of those root files that I didn't already organize. You know, and here with the type option, F stands for files, so you're getting rid of again max depth of 1, getting rid of files, and then you actually give what it is. Okay, so you have all these files selected. What do you want to do with those files? So what you're doing with those files is you're executing. That's yet another option. But what are you executing? You're executing a move, and then I'm not entirely sure what the curly braces are there for, but I'm pretty sure that what comes after, yes, that is the location of where you're moving all of these selected files with the find command. You're moving into the what $trash, which is the address that I specify for my trash folder. And then again, you're just echoing successfully moved all files message, yada yada. The same thing for the D option, which is the delete. So that's literally working the exact same way, the exact same command. You're still using the find selector, and this time you're looking into the trash directory instead of the downloads. Same thing, max it for one, type F, which is files, execute, this time remove, and then just curly braces because you don't have to specify because you're not making a move. So there's no further arguments you have to feed it. And yeah, right here we have a back a backslash. I'm not entirely sure why that's there again, but it is something that needs to be there for it to work. Same output, and then it's just the help option. So and everything else works exactly the same. You know, help is like every single help is always the same. Else, if you don't give it any arguments, it's going to give you the the variable values that I have set in my error codes.txt up here. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's extremely straightforward. It did everything that it needed to do. Again, my trash is empty right now. My downloads is also empty because everything I moved into trash before everything got removed. Extremely useful. And as for why I've set apart these other directories in my downloads, that is because there's actually going to be I'm going to release another video of another script that's actually going to organize all of just your dumped files in the downloads into these categories for anything that you might want to keep. And of course, if there's anything you don't want to keep, you just execute this this clean down with the T and the D options. But that's going to be for a later video. That's all the time that I have for today. I hope you guys were able to appreciate just the wonders of how simple Bash is. I mean, it's not even like a proper programming language. I couldn't really call it that. But what I'm trying to say is that you can get a lot done with only like a couple of lines of code. And for automation purposes, instead of you having to type all of this manually, you wouldn't even be able to remember it. It is extremely useful to just use these scripts. And I highly recommend, especially to students, which is what this playlist is series is named after. This is extremely useful for students, for facilitating things that you might be doing like a lot already in classes. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video and have a good day. Bye bye.
You didn't say the magic word.
P.S. I just realized that I had one more mental note to put out there, and that's the fact that if you wanted to extend this program and make it so that you could even make a menu so that you could select multiple locations to either move files to a trash to a single directory, or like I said, you just work with more directories than these two. You can move into one directory to multiple directories. You could delete from multiple directories. Again, possibilities are endless. This is just a boilerplate template essentially to get started and to show, like I said, specifically the power of find, which I didn't even know was a Linux command before, but now I do, and it's extremely powerful as a selector and being able to actually, work on that set of all the files that I select. So, like I said, the possibilities are endless. Uh, I suggest if you have any suggestions, you could put it down in the comments below, but I'll leave the rest up to you guys, and I'll see you later.